Our busy lifestyle has to lead us to many improper practices like consuming unhealthy food, etc. Through this project, we can consume vegetables and fruits cultivated using organic fertilizers. We can save a lot of money by growing our own vegetables and fruits. By growing our own food, we are not using chemicals or pesticides that can harm environment. Gardening is a fun way to get outside for some fresh air and physical activity. Welcome to SHFU e-learning for food security, climate change, school feeding program, nutrition education for all. When you have bad governance and poor accountability from your local government leaders, then you are doomed to live under control of cartels and fools. We hope you subscribe to our channel YouTube at SHFU Mombasa and share this links with your friends or family.
Oil is the real wealth of the nation. On one hand, we are losing the quality of the soil, and on another, farmers are not putting their next generation into farming. This means in another 25 years, we are definitely headed for a major food crisis. When there is no water and food, the level of civil crisis that will happen will demolish the nation in many different ways. People from those rural areas where water completely runs out are going to migrate in large numbers into urban centers. This is not far away. With no infrastructure, they will sit on the streets. But for how long? When there is no food and water, they will break into homes. I am not some kind of a doomsayer, but in the next 8 to 10 years, you will see these situations unless we do something drastic right now.
Top surface area. The most active part of a soil particle is its surface area. A particle's surface is where nutrient exchange takes place. Sand particles have a small surface area relative to their mass, meaning they do not hold onto nutrients well. Clay particles have a large surface area relative to their mass, so a small amount of clay can add a significant amount of surface area to a soil, increasing the nutrient holding capacity. The amount of organic matter in the soil depends primarily on rainfall, air temperature, the kinds of plants that have been growing in a soil, management practices, soil temperature, and drainage. Soils that are tilled frequently are usually low in organic matter because tilling decreases residue particle size and increases the amount of air in the soil, increasing the rate of organic matter decomposition. With the removal of barriers to agricultural development aided by new investments, it is estimated that Africa's agricultural output could increase from $280 billion per year to $1 trillion by 2030. We celebrate the increased investment and the renewed commitment of governments to allocate 10% of public expenditure to agriculture. We applaud the resolve to escape from the shame of dependency on food imports and handouts. Soil organic matter, SOM, is composed of the living microorganisms, the dead, fresh residues, and the very dead, humus, fractions. Only 5% of what is produced by green plants consumed by animals, but the 95% is consumed by microorganisms. There are more microbes in a teaspoon of soil than there are people on the earth. Soils contain about 8 to 15 tons of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, earthworms, and arthropods. Roles of soil bacteria, fungus, protozoa, and nematodes. Soil food web approach. After discovering the soil food web approach, nature's soil operating system, nearly 4 decades ago, and pioneering research in the field, Dr. Elaine Ingham is recognized as the foremost soil biologist in the world. The complete soil food web can be found in virgin soils around the world. Dr. Elaine's soil food web approach is the key to rapid and effective soil regeneration. Only with the complete soil food web in place can the ecological functions of the soil be restored, protecting and purifying the world's waterways, reversing climate change, and providing supernutritious foods. Using soil amendments, most soils can be regenerated in the first growing season. Bacteria and fungi are called decomposers because they break down the dead and decaying organic matter into simpler substances such as carbon dioxide, water, simple sugars, and mineral salts, and provide the nutrients back to the soil. Decomposers are organisms that break down dead plants and animals, as well as waste, into simpler substances. This process releases nutrients back into the environment, making them available for other organisms. Bacteria are microscopic, single-celled organisms that are abundant in the soil and play a significant role in decomposition. They break down organic matter through various metabolic processes, releasing nutrients into the soil. Fungi, including mushrooms, molds, and yeasts, also break down dead organic matter. Many fungi are saprophytes, meaning they obtain nutrients from decaying organic materials. Fungi release enzymes that break down complex molecules into simpler substances, making nutrients accessible to other organisms. Empty soils, empty stomachs, empty livelihoods. The most meaningful indicator for the health of the land and the long-term wealth of a nation is whether soil is being formed or destroyed. When soil is being destroyed, so too is the economic and ecological foundation on which production and conservation are based. Soil health determines plant health, animal health, human health, ecosystem health, and even the health of the economy.
Scientists are learning that different bacterial species can play different roles in the successes or failure of a farmer's crop. A plant is rooted in the soil. It cannot hunt for food elsewhere or move out of harm's way. What a plant can do is release hormones and other chemical signals. Certain kinds of soil bacteria sense these signals and travel to the plant's root. Once there, they may live on the root surface, or they may enter and live inside the root. Some of these bacteria feed the plant by collecting and digesting mineral nutrients from the soil. Other bacteria defend the plant from disease-causing organisms and viruses. Bacteria have even been found to protect the plant from drought by coating the root with a sticky goo called biofilm. Scientists are studying how these bacteria can be used strategically to produce healthier crops.
Decomposers. When organisms die, they leave behind energy and matter in their remains. Decomposers break down the remains and other wastes and release simple inorganic molecules back to the environment. Producers can then use the molecules to make new organic compounds. The stability of decomposers is essential to every ecosystem. Decomposers are classified by the type of organic matter they break down. Scavengers consume the soft tissues of dead animals. Examples of scavengers include vultures, raccoons, and blowflies. Detritivores consume detritus, the dead leaves, animal feces, and other organic debris that collects on the soil or at the bottom of a body of water. On land, detritivores include earthworms, millipedes, and dung beetles, see figure below. In water, detritivores include bottom feeders such as sea cucumbers and catfish. Saprotrophs are the final step in decomposition. They feed on any remaining organic matter that is left after other decomposers do their work. Saprotrophs include fungi, bacteria, and single-celled protozoa. Fungi are the only organisms that can decompose wood. Soil organic matter, SOM, is composed of the living microorganisms, the dead, fresh residues, and the very dead, humus, fractions. Only 5% of what is produced by green plants consumed by animals, but the 95% is consumed by microorganisms. There are more microbes in a teaspoon of soil than there are people on the earth. Soils contain about 8 to 15 tons of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, earthworms, and arthropods. Roles of soil bacteria, fungus, protozoa, and nematodes.
Bait, which is very important for the plant. These bacteria also carry out countless other important tasks, including one which is very special. Rhizobacteria form a sort of natural defense system around the roots. Anything attacking the plant is kept outside by the physical presence of these rhizobacteria. They ensure that there is no room for disease-causing bacteria. They have their own interest in this because the plant provides them with food.
The root of things. Plants have lived in community with mycorrhiza for eons. This fungus provides phosphate, nutrients, and water in exchange for carbohydrates from plants' roots. Crops routinely face a challenge absorbing enough key elements. The fungus acts as the plant's wholesaler. Using its microscopic supply network, called hyphae, hair-like filaments that extend the reach of plant roots and funnel more water and nutrients to plants. Plants alert the fungus to nutrient needs, and the fungus, using acids and enzymes, break the bonds that bind nutrients and prevent uptake. Mycorrhiza start life as tiny spores in a survival capsule. When a plant root grows close to a spore, the plant makes contact, first through a molecular exchange. The spores respond by attaching to the root and wait for root cells to make an opening for the fungus.
Discover the value of mycorrhizae, tiny, soil-borne beneficial fungi that have a huge impact on plant health and yield. Mycorrhizae have evolved over hundreds of millions of years to help plants collect water and nutrients. Approximately 95% of plant species benefit from this symbiosis. They connect to plant roots and grow into branching root-like structures called hyphae. Mycorrhizae multiply by propagules, which are spores and root fragments containing hyphae and other fungal structures. They can be applied to the soil by drench, soil incorporation, seed treatment, soil injection, in furrow, or any methods that can put the propagule.
Solutions to infections and attacks. Remember that these fungi and pests are attracted to plants with a low pH. Calcium, lime, soft carbon, and microbes for plant growth and soil health. Calcium is the insect's enemy. Young leaves have less calcium than spur leaves, so the aphids go after them. Eliminating pest and disease. Increase mineral uptake and balance with silicic acid. Raise the internal pH of the plant by providing more bioavailable forms of calcium and potassium. Increase the Brix level by providing absorbable L-amino acids and increasing mineralization within the plant. It is a consortium of microorganisms developed from local cow's dung that can also work as a biofertilizer and biocontrol agent along with improving soil health. Multiplication and application of waste decomposer is simple and doesn't require much expertise. This makes the product farmers friendly. Soils supply essential nutrients, water, oxygen, and root support to plants to make them grow healthy and flourish. FAO, 2015. To maintain soil health, it is very important to manage the agricultural waste, which mainly consists of crop residues that contain lots of organic carbon and other plant nutrients. Field retention of crop residue after harvest not only reduces soil erosion but also helps to enhance soil microbial growth. How to make it. Get some fish. You might as well use fish discards like fish heads, guts, etc. Cut fish into chunks, then either blend or run through a meat mincer. Add water. Add 3:1 fish, sugar. Add lactobacilli to blended fish mixture. Now you have liquefied fish, sugar, and lacto. Transfer it to a smaller container. Fish emulsion fertilizer is a type of organic fertilizer produced for use on garden plants and vegetables. It is made from byproducts of the fish industry, with a typical nutrient ratio of 5:2 or 5:1, meaning it is high in nitrogen and, therefore, particularly beneficial for green leafy plants and lawns. It can be used as either a foliar spray or a soil drench and can be purchased from stores, or you can make your own at home. Fish emulsion fertilizer is made from byproducts of the fishing industry, including fish meal and fish oil. Fish emulsion fertilizer, which has been manufactured for use in gardens, will typically contain the fish scraps that have no other use, such as fish bones, fish tails, and fish guts. This makes it a good sustainable choice of fertilizer, as it utilizes organic materials that would otherwise be wasted.
Fish hydrolysate fertilizer is cold processed using natural beneficial cultures, retaining the proteins, amino acids, fats, oils, and trace elements in a bioavailable state. Liquid fish hydrolysate fertilizer benefits: increases fungal biomass, feeds beneficial microorganisms, delivers organic minerals, improves plant root development, aids soil moisture holding abilities.
There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lions. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family. Or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities.
Seven important reasons for using amino acids. Amino acids help photosynthesis. Amino acids help increase nutrient absorption. Amino acids reduce stress-related problems. Amino acids support plant hormones. Amino acids help improve microbial activity. Amino acids are a source of nitrogen. Amino acids increase calcium absorption. Fertilizing with amino acids helps in optimal flowering in plants by influencing several key physiological and biochemical processes. They act as precursors in the synthesis of floral hormones and in the regulation of the formation and development of floral structures.
What is Panchagavya? Well, it is nothing but a biofertilizer or organic growth stimulant made from natural ingredients to promote plant growth and safeguard the soil microorganisms. Why should we use this? Using this solution in farming preserves the reproductive and regenerative capacity of the soil, good plant nutrition, and improves disease resistance in plants. This also plays an important role in animal health and human health, as consumers are showing a lot of interest in organic farming, as the current agriculture sector is full of chemicals and pesticides. This is boosting the market for naturally made biofertilizers like Panchagavya. This can also be used as an organic growth stimulant in milch animals, goats, sheep, poultry, fish and pet animals. In this video, let us discuss the preparation and application of Panchagavya. Hi friends, welcome to Discover Agriculture YouTube channel. If you're not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe now. Panchagavya ingredients. To make 20 liters of Panchagavya solution, the following ingredients are required.
Procedure for mass multiplication of waste decomposer. The waste decomposer could be mass multiplied by a simple technique that is practically applicable to the farmers. This protocol is standardized by Krishan Chandra in 2015. Take 2 kilograms jaggery and mix it in a plastic drum containing 200 liters of water. Then take 1 bottle of decomposer, 30 grams, and pour all its contents in a plastic drum of 200 liters containing jaggery solution. Avoid direct contact of contents with hands. Mix it properly with a wooden stick for uniform distribution of waste decomposer in the drum. Cover the drum with a paper or cardboard and stir it every day once or twice. After 5 days, the solution of the drum turns creamy. The farmers could prepare the waste decomposer solution again and again from the mother culture solution by the addition of 20 liters of waste decomposer solution into a drum with 2 kilograms of jaggery and 200 liters of water. So, again it would be ready in 7 days.
Is perform mass multiplication of the waste decomposer. There's nothing sophisticated about it. It's really a simple process. I'll show you step by step. Take a large plastic barrel like this one, preferably a 200 liter container. You can even take 100 liters or whatever you have. Fill this barrel with water, then add 2 kilograms of jaggery for 200 liters of water or 1 kilogram for 100 liters. This is the food for these microorganisms. Now take 1 bottle of waste decomposer and pour all its contents. Make sure you avoid direct contact of its contents with bare hands. Mix it thoroughly using any stick or even any pipe. Then cover the container with a cloth. You need to open this daily and stir the solution once in 24 hours. After 5 days or max 7 days depending on the climate, this solution turns creamy, which means now you have 200 liters of waste decomposer ready to use. We'll discuss on the use.
The oil cake of sunflower is very useful in many dairy cattle rations and can provide nitrogen required by rumen microbes in the form of rumen, degradable protein. 40 Kenyan shillings. The chemical analysis of the sunflower seed cake as moisture 9.23 g, crude protein 37.10 g, crude fat 0.69 g, ash 7.49 g, crude fiber 21.50 g, carbohydrate 23.97 g, and energy 250.56 kilocalories, iron 6.44 milligrams, calcium 650 milligrams, phosphorus 711.33 milligrams, and phytic acid 700 milligrams per 100 g on dry weight basis. Rules for working with bacterial cultures. Adapted from a field guide to bacteria Betsy Dexter Dyer. Never eat or drink near your cultures. Keep the lids on your cultures and remove only briefly as needed. Wash your hands well after working with bacterial cultures. By wash with rubbing alcohol whatever work surface you are using before and after working with bacteria. 5. When you are done with your cultures, pour in a little bleach to kill all bacteria. Use dilute nutrients to lessen the risk of pathogenic bacteria. If you have a compromised immune system, make sure to alert your teacher and follow the precautions prescribed by your doctor. Wear eye and face mask as a precaution and use hand gloves. Just as von Liebig, he discovered that essentially, the chain of nutrients in the soil is only as strong as its weakest link. His findings have encouraged farmers to expand their view beyond just the major macronutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, NPK. He recognized the need for a more expansive nutrient profile. Composting is a controlled, aerobic, oxygen-required process that converts organic materials into a nutrient-rich, biologically stable soil amendment or mulch through natural decomposition. The end product is compost. Microorganisms feed on the materials added to the compost pile during the composting process. They use carbon and nitrogen to grow and reproduce, water to digest materials, and oxygen to breathe. You can compost at home using food scraps from your kitchen and dry leaves and woody material from your yard. What is the golden ratio for composting? The optimal ratio for a compost should be roughly 70% carbon, leaves, pine straw, wood chips, nut shells, and 30% nitrogen, vegetable scraps, garden weeds, coffee grounds, manures, hay. Here are the carbon to nitrogen ratios for some typical materials. Poultry manure, from 3:1 to 15:1. Cow manure, 20:1. Horse manure, from 20:1 to 50:1. Food waste, about 15:1. Fresh grass clippings, 15:1. Sun-dried grass clippings, 20:1. Oak leaves, 40:1 to 80:1. Straw, 50:1 to 150:1. Sawdust, 200:1 to 750:1. Newsprint, 400:1 to 850:1. Corrugated cardboard, about 560:1.
The excessive reliance on chemical fertilizers and the negligence shown to the conservation and use of organic sources of nutrients have not only caused the exhaustion of soil of its nutrient reserves but also resulted in soil health problems not conducive to achieving consistent increase in agricultural production. Soil organic matter is the key to soil fertility and productivity. In the absence of organic matter, the soil is a mixture of sand, silt and clay. Organic matter induces life into this inert mixture and promotes biological activities. Although the beneficial influence of organic matter on the physical, chemical and biological properties of the soil is widely known, the full appreciation of the same remains largely ignored in modern agriculture. The regular recycling of organic wastes in the soil is the most efficient method of maintaining optimum levels of soil organic matter. Recycling of organic matter in the soil should become a regular feature of modern agriculture.
Asif Sharif has conceptualized PQNK through first-hand experience on his own land in the Indo-Gangetic plains of Pakistan. He later founded Pedava, a company that works with thousands of farmers to disseminate the PQNK system and develop appropriate mechanization. Initially, after identifying that inundation, soil disturbance, and bare land are contrary to the natural processes of soil fertility and vegetation, Mr. Asif developed the raised bed planting system. The PQNK approach replicates natural dynamics in agricultural production systems, like avoiding the use of synthetic amendments, keeping upland for vegetation and lowland for water supply and drainage of excessive water, as shown on this page. Why raised beds? Growing crops on raised beds minimizes soil disturbance to protect soil biota, improves soil structure, and promotes carbon sequestration. Also, with machines developed to the size of the raised beds, PQNK facilitates the large-scale implementation of no-till. In PQNK, soil compaction is completely avoided by letting the tires of the heavy machinery drive in the furrows between the beds. This guarantees driving through the land without compromising the soil structure where crops are planted. Under PQNK, crops are cultivated on permanent no-till raised beds that are formed on leveled, non-compacted land. For this, the bed size is adapted to the size of the tractor and machinery wheels, so that the wheels are driving through the furrows, hence not compacting the beds. Irrigation is applied in the furrows between beds. Nutrient uptake from the soil is optimized by plant spacing and hardpan breaking. The plant spacing also allows each plant to develop large canopies for catching sunlight and CO2 from the atmosphere. The plant spacing is to be adapted to the specific requirement of each crop. Carrots production, conventional. Carrots is not considered as a good cash crop. Seed is broadcasted in finely prepared soil, furrows are made, seed gathers on ridge top. High seed rate, 2 kg, concentrated plants. No uniformity in size and shape. Less than 40% are A grade. High cost of harvesting by digging with shovel. Single autumn crop in a year. Carrots on PQNK, over 80%. A grade, for crops a year. Follow steps to shift to PQNK. Make beds when is well moist. Plant 200,000 seed, 250 g per acre with no-till precision planter. Carrots grow between 10-30 c. Plan for 3 to 4 crops per acre per year. Harvesting is easy, by pulling. Remove leaves and use as mulch.
The plant is subjected to different types of stress, biotic stresses and abiotic stresses. These stresses can impact on yield potential by up to 90%. Abiotic stresses account for most of these losses. In optimum conditions, the plant is supplied with nutrients and water. These elements are transported by the raw sap to the leaves, the site of photosynthesis. The plant then uses light energy, carbon dioxide, and the transported elements to produce elaborate sugars and oxygen. This is photosynthesis. These sugars are then transported by the elaborated sap to the growth sites, the fruits, the leaves, and the roots. Plant cells are turgid and functioning normally. The plant has an upright habit. In dry conditions and/or when the temperature is too high, the plant closes its stomata to limit water loss. The circulatory flow of water, minerals, and gases is slowed down. Photosynthesis is then disturbed. At the cellular level, the vacuole empties water it contains to create balance in the extracellular medium. This is plasmolysis. The plant wilts. In a situation of excess water, the extracellular medium becomes loaded with water, and to restore balance, the vacuole fills up. This is hyperturgescence. The mechanical pressure on the cell walls causes microcracks. Climatic changes amplify this phenomenon.
The producer and reporter of Fertile Deception is Cynthia Gichiri, an award-winning Kenyan investigative journalist and multimedia storyteller. Gichiri says Fertile Deception brings to light the glaring system failure of government agencies in protecting the consumer, who is the ultimate victim of corruption in Kenya. She adds that the fact that the product under investigation bore the government standardization mark and was also being sold through a government agency and not private entities shows how deep the connection between government officials and unscrupulous businessmen goes. This, she says, also proves the fears many Kenyans have had over the years about dubious dealings between politicians, governments, and corrupt individuals, which eventually put the citizens at risk.
Biopesticide, the mass-multiplied liquid waste decomposer culture is diluted in the ratio of 1:3 with water and applied as a foliar spray to control pest and diseases. It can control all types of soil-borne, foliar diseases, insects, and pests. Seed treatment: simply spray/sprinkle the waste decomposer solution uniformly over any type of seeds. Leave the treated seeds under shade for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes the seeds are ready for sowing. Various seed-borne diseases are controlled by waste decomposer. Damping off disease in chili, tomato, brinjal peanut, potato, soybean, maize, cabbage, etc. Rhizome rot disease in ginger, turmeric, onion, etc. Root rot disease in citrus, pineapple, etc. The biological properties of the soil seemed to change tremendously in terms of increase in beneficial macro and micro soil biota. Lactic acid bacteria control plant pathogens and diseases. Lactic acid bacteria increase plant growth and yield. Lactic acid bacteria reduce the use of chemical fertilizers. Lactic acid bacteria improve soil structure and water holding capacity. Bioenzyme fertilizers can enhance photosynthesis in plants and increase soil's organic matter. As a result, plants will get more nutrients and their roots can absorb more air. Bioenzymes are key when it comes to building fertile soil. It is a natural fertilizer. Take citrus peels, jaggery and water in the ratio of 1:3:10 and 1 spoon of yeast. Note that you can also opt for the peels of carrot, pineapple, cucumber, sweet lime and lettuce for the preparation of bioenzymes. Mix all these ingredients in a plastic bottle or container with a screw bottle cap and leave it aside for 1 month. Do not fill the bottle or container to the brim. Bioenzyme natural at home urban plants. Since the bioenzyme cleaner mixture will produce gases, the bottle cap or lid should be opened and stirred at least once a day. Note that the solution should always be covered so that the fruit flies do not get into the bottle or container. Ferment the mixture for 1 month in anaerobic conditions of fir.
Microorganisms, a foundational ingredient to many bioenzymatic cleaners, are live microorganisms. Rod-shaped bacteria called bacillus that can be used in janitorial and sanitation cleaning solutions to reduce fats, oils, grease, fog, and the sources of odor in carpets, hard surfaces, bathroom utilities, and other applications. Enzymes are proteins that are commonly produced by microorganisms, including bacillus, that speed up specific chemical reactions to help break down complex materials like fat, oil, grease, and even paper products. Bacillus has longer term stability compared to other types of bacteria due to its ability to form spores. These enzymes act immediately, allowing microorganisms present to metabolize the nutrients efficiently. Enzyme biocleaners are the organic compounds including enzymes produced by the simple fermentation of fresh fruit wastes with addition of brown sugar and water by using the selective microorganisms like yeast. This fermentation creates natural chains of proteins, mineral salts, organic acids, alcohol and enzyme which have the capacity to break down, change, create, and catalyzer functions that make it a wonderful cleaning aid in household as well as in industrial and medical applications. During fermentation, the enzyme production like cellulase, amylase, and protease were tested for its activity in fermented broth at different period of fermentation and found with moderate level of activity. Enzymes are proteins which act as catalysts. Enzymes lower the energy required for a reaction to occur without being used up in the reaction. Fermentation involves the use of microorganisms, like bacteria and yeast, to produce the enzymes. Enzymes energize and catalyze biochemical reaction with high specificity and enhance the reaction rate. Enzymes are formed during growth of microorganisms, tropoplasm, as a result of oxidative metabolism and aerobic fermentative. Enzyme biocleaners are an organic solution produced by the simple fermentation of fresh fruit wastes with addition of brown sugar and water by using the selective microorganisms like yeast. Take 3 parts fruit peels, 300 g. Add 1 part molasses, 100 g. Add 10 parts water, 1000 milliliters. To the above 3 teaspoonful of yeast. Use any multiples thereof, maintaining the same ratio. Allow the fermentation for 12 weeks. Fermentation involves the use of microorganisms, like bacteria and yeast, to produce the enzymes. Enzymes energize and catalyze biochemical reaction with high specificity and enhance the reaction rate. Enzymes are formed during growth of microorganisms, tropoplasm, as a result of oxidative metabolism and aerobic fermentative. Enzyme biocleaners are an organic solution produced by the simple fermentation of fresh fruit wastes with addition of brown sugar and water by using the selective microorganisms like yeast. Take 3 parts fruit peels, 300 g. Add 1 part molasses, 100 g. Add 10 parts water, 1000 milliliters. To the above 3 teaspoonful of yeast. Use any multiples thereof, maintaining the same ratio. Allow the fermentation for 12 weeks. There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lions. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family, or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities.